Okay, let's add some jam. Ooh, I love strawberry jam. I'm so hungry. This is gonna taste so good. Okay, now let's make the second one. Okay, let's add some of this on. Okay, now I'm just gonna put it together. Oh, Walter, is that you? Oh, hi. What's that? Our friends are here. Oh, hi everyone. I didn't see you all here. I've been making a sandwich for my lunch. But Walter's reminded me it's time to start the show. Welcome back, everyone. Today is going to be a great day. Let's put the sandwich to the side and finish this later. Well, now since you're all here, we just need the mail. Okay, this is a bit tall. I'm gonna pop it on the floor. I can't wait to see what we got today. First, let's look at the craft. Whoa, we have 2 crafts today. This is the first one. It looks like some little characters. And what does the word say? We should serve others just like Jesus did. That's cool. This one looks more simple. This one looks like a normal coloring in. And it says, I should serve others. Now let's see the mystery item. Whoa, this looks like a towel and some soap. What's that, Walter? Walter says maybe Buckle is telling him he's a bit stinky and he needs to have a shower. Well, Walter, the towel and soap has to be a clue for something. Maybe it's a Bible story about washing something or cleaning something. Do you know? Let's go watch Preach Part 1 together and we'll find out soon. Let's go.
Okay, have you ever had to clean up after somebody else's mess? Maybe a friend of yours made a mess and for whatever reason you had to clean it up. Or maybe it was dinner time and it was your job to wash all of the dishes even though you only used one plate. You see, sometimes in life we have to clean up messes that other people make. We have to help other people, and we might think sometimes that that's a little bit unfair. I don't want to clean up other people. I remember once when I was a kid, I was at home with my mum and dad, and I had some sisters as well, and mum and dad said to me, Buckle, you need to clean the kitchen. We'd had dinner, we'd all finished eating, my sisters had gone, and they said, Buckle, you need to clean up. And I was like, I don't want to clean. Why do I have to clean? Why don't my sisters have to come and help as well? But it was my turn, and so I had to go and take all the plates and all the cups and the spoons. I had to put all the rubbish in the bin. I had to get everything in the dishwasher, wipe the table, wipe the benches, and get everything clean. And I was super grumpy. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to help everybody else. But then I realized something. I realized, well, actually, my mum had put all the work into cooking everything. I didn't have to do any of the cooking. My dad had gone and worked all day, and so he was the one helping to pay for all the food. I didn't have to do any of the work, and I realized that I was helping serve my family by helping clean, just like my mum and dad were helping to serve by looking after our family and caring for us. And I realized that all of us have times where we need to do something to help other people that maybe we don't enjoy doing, but it's good because we're learning to help others. I'm sure you've felt like that sometimes, where you've had to clean up after someone, or maybe in class everybody's getting ready to go and your teacher has asked you to pick up some of the rubbish in the room or clean the blackboard, whatever it might be, and you might think it's a little bit unfair that you don't want to help other people. They should clean up themselves. But there's a story in the Bible that we're going to look at a little later on where Jesus did something, and he set an example where he was willing to do a job that was a little bit gross, but he wanted to do it to show us that we should be happy to help and serve others. But we'll talk about that in just a moment.
That was a great preach on Buckle. Thank you. It's time for the craft now. Let me show you all what I made. First, I coloured in the bucket in brown. Then I coloured in the words in a pattern, dark blue, then light blue. Then the background of the words I did grey. Then I did the characters. First I did Jesus, and the colours I used for him was dark purple for the robe and the outfit as purple. Now, I chose to do this craft, which is a little bit more complicated. But remember, you can always do the other craft. Well, now since I've cut out the pieces, you can see these little tabs on the bottom here. So I'm going to get a plain piece of paper and fold the tabs and glue it onto it. Let me show you. Okay, Now since I've done folding everything, now I'm going to glue it all and put it onto the paper. Let me show you what it looks like when it's all finished. There you go, and Jesus is washing his feet. I think it looks pretty cool. And that's a big hint for the mystery item. And don't forget, I love seeing all of your crafts. So, get a parent, teacher, or an adult to take a photo of your craft and send it in to us. And don't forget, there's a new link in our bio below. Let's go see some of your crafts now. Up next, it's time for the animated Bible story. Let's go check it out together.
One day, Jesus and his disciples traveled to a city called Jerusalem to celebrate Passover. And when they got there, they found a room upstairs that they could use to share a meal together. But while they were there, Jesus stood up, he got a towel and some water, and knelt down to start washing his disciples' feet. This was a dirty job because people would have had dirt and mud on their feet from walking outside. Peter said, "Lord, you shouldn't wash my feet." But Jesus replied, "You don't know what I'm doing, but later you will understand. You must learn to serve others, just like I have served you. You must follow my example and serve others." I love this story so much because you think about the disciples' feet, right? These days we wear shoes. Like right now, I'm wearing a shoe. And so if I go outside and there's dirt or dust or mud on the ground, it just goes on my shoe. And when I get home, I take my shoe off at the door and all the mess stays there. But back in Jesus' day, they didn't always wear shoes like what we have now. They would have worn sandals, which means that their feet would have also gotten dirty and muddy. And so when Jesus knelt down and washed the disciples' feet, there would have been dirt on their feet, probably a little bit of mud on their feet. They might have been a little bit smelly and gross. What if one of the disciples had stood in some sheep poo while he was walking? Then Jesus would have washed that off as well. Now, Jesus didn't just wash the disciples' feet because he wanted to. He did it because he wanted you to learn that it's good for us to serve others. That we should remember that everything isn't about me, but actually God wants me to put other people first. Now, I'm not telling you that you should go around your classroom washing everybody's feet. That's not what I'm saying. But what we can learn from this story is that it's important to put others first, that we should serve other people. Because if we all try and do our own thing, well, that's really silly because then everybody's off doing their own thing. But if we all work together and if we all look after each other, then we become a team and we are always better when we're together. And so this is the big point. It's what I want you to remember, that we should serve others. We should serve other people to help them, and hopefully they're willing to help us as well. And so that's the big point. We should serve others, and I want you to say it with me on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. We should serve others. Let's say it one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. We should serve others.
Did you guess what the Bible story was? The story was that Jesus was washing the disciples' feet. That's why we had a towel and a soap as the mystery item. If you guessed it, good job. I love figuring out the mystery item together with all of you. Do you know what else I love doing together? That's right, the Bible quiz. Okay, does everyone have their listening ears on? I'm gonna ask you a question. And if you think the first answer is correct, hands on your head. And if you think the second answer is correct, hands on your shoulders. All right. Question number 1. Who did Jesus wash the feet of? Was it his friends and disciples or the Pharisees? You've got 5 seconds. Did you have your hands on your head? If you did, you're correct. Okay. Question number 2. What was the name of the special meal Jesus shared with his disciples? Was it the Last Supper or was it the Passover feast? You've got 5 seconds. answer was hands on heads again. Okay, this is question number 3. Why did Jesus wash the disciples' feet? Was it to make sure they weren't stinky? Or was it to show them how to be a servant? You've got 5 seconds. It was to show them how to be a servant for others. If you had your hands and shoulders, you're right. Did you get 3 out of 3 today? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. What's that, Walter? Walter said he got 3 out of 3 again! Wow, good job, Walter. You must have had your listening ears on. Now it's time to finish making my sandwich. Let's put it together. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna cut it in half. It's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna eat my lunch. I'm Isla, and I'll see you all next time on The Link Show. Bye!